Hey everybody, welcome to Eagles Game Plan presented by Toyota. I am John Clark. We've got Mike Quick and Ike Reese here. Of course, the Chiefs are coming in. Patrick Mahomes has never lost 3 in a row, so look out. But that loss in Dallas, the defense gave up 41 points, the most the Cowboys have put up on the Birds in 13 years. What were your takeaways from the Birds defense Monday night?
Well, being a former defensive player, let's be accurate there. They gave up 34 points. The offense gave up 7
I like
points.
that. Put it on the offense.
But no. But I think that the biggest issue I had coming out of this game is that the game plan when they went into this game was sound, right? We're going to keep 2 safeties high. We're going to make the Cowboys matriculate the ball down the field, keep the ball in front of us. The problem was the Cowboys took advantage of that. They ran the ball so well on first and second down. The Eagles were never really in a position to have the Cowboys in 3rd and long to take advantage of the philosophy of this defense. So my biggest takeaway was we didn't win enough on 1st and 2nd down to put the Cowboys in a 3rd and long situation so that we can get after them.
Yeah, and when I look at it, I just think that offensively, the Cowboys were so good up front. I thought that they were able to move the Eagles off the line of scrimmage. When you win the line of scrimmage, you're going to win. So those matchups on the outside, the Cowboys were able to take advantage of them because they handled the line of scrimmage so well.
Well, and the Chiefs are coming in here averaging 31 points a game, but Patrick Mahomes was sacked twice and intercepted twice by the Chargers. With more on that Chiefs offense coming in here, here's enemy intel with Greg Cosell.
The Kansas City Chiefs have lost 2 games in a row, but they still put up a lot of points. Offensively, they can be very difficult to defend, both within the structure of their passing game and, of course, the second reaction movement ability of Patrick Mahomes. Now, one thing that we know about Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, is he likes to play split safety. That's a foundational coverage for him, and cover 4 is a split safety coverage that the Eagles will play a good amount. So what might we see from the Chiefs? We'll see them dial up cover 4 beaters. And there was a really good example of that week 1 against the Browns. Let's stay to the boundary side of the formation. You see Travis Kelce tight to the formation. You see Tyreek Hill with a reduced split. Now the back is also important here as well because this will be a 3-man route concept to the boundary. So let's start with Kelce and the back. Because what happens here is Kelce and Hill will switch release at the snap of the ball. Kelce will attack the corner and his quarter's responsibility in coverage. The back will work to the flat. That expands the flat defender. And the really important part here, which is exactly what the Chiefs wanted, is now Tyreek Hill screaming at a safety. You will take that every day of the week, no matter who the safety is. Because the one thing the safety cannot do is allow Hill to get over the top of him, so he will retreat. The last part of this is Patrick Mahomes. He's responsible for the Mike linebacker, and this is play action with really good timing. Mahomes knows who he has to beat, the Mike. So he drops back, plants his back foot, turns and delivers, and he hits Hill in the void created by the quarter's beater, which was Kelce attacking the corner and the back expanding the flat defender. A really well-designed play to beat cover 4. These are the kinds of things you will see from the Chiefs against the Eagles. Andy Reid is one of the best in the NFL at designing plays to beat specific zone coverages. So this is something Jonathan Gannon and the Eagles must be well aware of in this matchup.
Really, the thing that has stopped the Chiefs the last couple weeks is 6 turnovers over the last 2 games. You've seen what the offense can do, and you know Andy Reid real well. What do the Eagles have to watch out for schematically?
Well, when you think about the Chiefs offense, everyone thinks about Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman down the field, Pat Mahomes, that big arm that he has. And yes, those vertical explosive plays are something you need to be concerned with. But Andy Reid, man, the offensive genius that he is, he's going to make you defend every blade of grass on the field, particularly horizontally. So what I mean by that is you're going to get jet sweep action, you're going to get reverses, anything with pre-snap motions to make you have to defend not only vertically, but horizontally. And the good thing for the the Eagles is that they've seen some of this. They saw the San Francisco 49ers offense. They do a lot of this pre-snap motion. Last week versus the Cowboys in the red zone, here's a great example here. You're going to get Cedric Wilson coming across in a jet sweep motion. You got a tight split from CeeDee Lamb on the right side. I like the communication on the back end from the Eagles secondary. They recognize something is up here. And watch Darius Slay, the veteran here. When this ball is snapped, he knows that CeeDee Lamb in this tight split could possibly be running a reverse or across the field. So what do? You get the reverse action. The ball is pitched to CeeDee Lamb, and Darius Slay, the thing I like about what he does on this play here is that he keeps his eyes on his luggage. He chases this play down. This is the type of defense you're going to have from a collective unit in order to stop plays like this. The Kansas City Chiefs like to do a lot of this type of play action. They run the reverses with McCole Hardman and Tyreek Hill. You're going to need communication on the back end of this defense, but more importantly, you got to get guys running to the football.
I like it. He's already communicating to the Eagles defense about that. But the unique skill set of Patrick Mahomes, what makes him so unique for a defense to have to stop him?
Well, when Ike talks about a collective unit, that's what you have to have. Look at the quarterbacks they've faced. Matt Ryan, Jimmy Garoppolo, Dak Prescott. These are not guys like Patrick Mahomes. This guy has a unique skill set. He knows how to make plays when there's nothing to be made. That's how he gets in trouble too, by the way. Some of those interceptions last week is him getting in trouble because he has that unique skill set. They must stay plastered to their receivers when they get downfield. When he starts to scramble around, he makes a lot of big plays in those situations.
Eagles Game Plan is brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers, proud automotive partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy. And by Pepsi, your official soft drink of your Philadelphia Eagles.
It was pretty brave of them to kind of drop back down there, and Coach kind of turned us loose and let the boys go rush. You know, we talked about it, not giving him a pocket to step up in. Obviously, I was kind of going to balance the rush up, saw the ball pop out, and, you know, had a chance to make a play and, you know, got my hands on the ball, and that's what we talked about, you know, getting our hands on the ball.
This week on Tape Study, I just wanted to kind of take a look at this Chiefs offense. And I guess the big question, whenever you're getting ready to play the Kansas City Chiefs, how do you defend the $500 million man, quarterback Patrick Mahomes? And it's really interesting. Going back over the last couple of weeks and seeing the defenses that they've gone against, Baltimore and the Chargers. Baltimore's defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale, heavy man coverage defense, typically what you see from him, a lot of pressure. In that game, in the win, they played a lot of zone. Then you go last week against the Chargers, you have Brandon Staley, the new head coach. He's predominantly a zone coverage defense. What do? They play a lot of pressure and play man-to-man. So both of those defenses, they went a little bit against the grain of what their profile typically has been. I think the important thing to remember, there is no such thing as perfect defense in football. If you did have a perfect defense, every team would play it on every snap. You have to pick your poison when you go up against an offense and a quarterback like the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. So here in this game, I think it's interesting kind of figuring out what will the Eagles decide to do. And we won't know until we get to 1 p.m. kickoff on Sunday at Lincoln Financial Field. One thing to keep in mind, Patrick Mahomes against the blitz. Over the course of his career as a starter, he's been one of the best in the NFL. He's not blitzed very often, and when he does, he typically has success when you go back to 2020, 2019, and beyond. That said, this year, here in 2021, they are breaking in 5 brand new starters along the offensive line, including 3 players along the right side at center, right guard, and right tackle who, before this season, had never played an NFL snap. You've got a rookie center, a rookie right guard, and a right tackle who did not play a year ago, who opted out due to COVID-19. And so a brand new offensive line. How will defenses try to attack that? Can they mix up their fronts and maybe blitz a little bit more than we've seen in the past? If you look back to this Sunday, look, the Eagles, not a blitz-heavy team, but here against the Dallas Cowboys, we saw a couple of really interesting blitzes. This one, a big one, on 3rd and long in the second half. The Eagles come out with a double mug front against an empty set here from the Cowboys. Double mug, meaning you've got 2 linebackers mugged up over the center in the A-gaps. Now, how does Dallas respond to this? You want to make sure that you block the most dangerous men on the line. So they're going to slide their protection this way. You want to make sure you've got all 4 of the defensive linemen blocked up. So you've got Fletcher Cox, Ryan Kerrigan, Milton Williams, and Josh Sweat all blocked up. They're going to choose to block Alex Singleton, blocking away with the center. Now you've got the linebacker Eric Wilson. He is quarterback Dak Prescott's man. That's who they're going to decide to cut loose at the snap. Again, you're sliding your protection this way, and you've got man-to-man blocking over on this side. We're going to let this play for a second and see exactly what happens here just before the snap. You see Eric Wilson kind of dropped out. He started here, dropped out, and he steps up. Before we get into what that does to Dallas's offensive line, I want you to see what the Eagles also do. They take Alex Singleton. He's going to buzz out as an underneath zone defender. Ryan Kerrigan, he's going to get back out and drop as an underneath zone defender. What does that mean? You've got 3 Dallas Cowboys blocking 1 Eagles defender in Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox is a great player, but you're dedicating now 3 players to block him because you can't change the protection after the snap. So the Eagles now have a matchup that you really like. You've got 2 offensive linemen isolated to the right of Dak Prescott against how many defenders? You've got Milton Williams, you've got Josh Sweat, here comes Eric Wilson. Now remember, before the snap, the right tackle was going to block Josh Sweat, but you have to block the most dangerous man. Eric Wilson stepping up into that gap to get after Dak Prescott seems pretty dangerous. So Terrence Steele, the right tackle, he steps up to block Eric Wilson. They're going to cut Josh Sweat loose. That means that he's got a free run at the quarterback. You've got Avonte Maddox coming off the slot as well in a nickel pressure. We can let this run. You've got 2 free runners at Dak Prescott. Look at that picture that he sees. He doesn't really like trying to throw this ball into a crowded window. You've got Alex Singleton and Ryan Kerrigan here underneath. Now you've got 2 free runners and it results in a sack. The big thing for this Eagles defense, again, there is no perfect coverage. You have to pick your poison when you go up against Patrick Mahomes. Do you want to focus on coverage or do you want to try and mix things up and get after the quarterback against a very inexperienced offensive line? We'll have to wait to find out, but it's one of the things I'm most excited to see going into this matchup.
Come on, man. Let's go, boy. Have a day. You good, Dre? Come on, baby. Keep it up.
All right, you saw Zach Ertz mic'd up right there. The tight ends were very involved in Dallas. 6 catches for 119 yards. What did you overall see, Mike Quick, from the passing game against the Cowboys?
Well, first, I was happy to see the tight ends more involved, and you need more of that when you got the tight ends that this team has. But I saw a Dan Quinn-led defense that was really ready. Schematically, they were everywhere the Eagles wanted to be when they played man coverage on the outside, very aggressive, and making things very difficult for Jalen Hurts to throw the football. They were everywhere all over that defense.
It was tough for Jalen Hurts in the passing game to get into a rhythm. What did you see and what needs to improve from that Eagles passing game?
Well, listen, the offensive line coming in was certainly going to be without some key members. Losing Brandon Brooks weeks ago, Jordan Mailata in practice last week. So a major concern was how are you going to be able to protect Jalen Hurts in this game? And then Andre Dillard making his first start of the season over there at left tackle. For me, he was one of the bright spots in the game. Listen, he still has some room to grow to reach that potential that everybody saw out of him when he was a first-round draft pick. But by the same token, I've seen growth in Andre's play. And I thought he played with a calming presence. The moment didn't seem too big for him. He came into that game Monday night with a magnifying glass on him because a lot of people were concerned as to how he would perform. I thought he answered the bell. I thought he did a very good job, and he can only get better. I think it was a great confidence builder for Andre moving forward.
Yeah, it's tough going forward without a couple of guys, maybe 3 guys. Chiefs defense coming in here. They're giving up 32 points a game. Nobody's giving up more per game in the NFL, giving up 430 yards a game. So what is it with this Chiefs defense? Let's get some more enemy intel with Greg Cosell.
When you play against the Chiefs defense and defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, you get a pretty defined profile. Spagnuolo is known for playing a good amount of cover 1. You'll see a lot of cover 2. You'll see some cover 0, all-out blitz with no safety in the middle of the field. Now, one of the things that you have to be aware of is there's a lot of disguise and late movement right at the snap of the ball, and that could be a tough challenge for a young quarterback like Jalen Hurts. Now, we see examples of that every single week. They normally do it when they want to go to cover 2 and have Tyrann Mathieu be the middle hole defender, but they'll do it other times as well. And there was a very good example of that from this season, week 2, against the Baltimore Ravens. As they were approaching the red zone, you saw an empty set from the Ravens. That's something that you will see from the Eagles, empty sets. They've done that through the first part of this season. What you have is 3 receivers to the right. Marquise Brown is in the inside slot to trips. That's who Jackson wants to get the ball to, and he's going to run a seam route. Now, he's going to be matched by a linebacker here. So that's the throw that Jackson believes he has. But Tyrann Mathieu, who is as smart and savvy and aware as any safety in the NFL, he's on the other side of the formation. But he reads the drop of Jackson, gets depth, and from the backside, he makes the interception. That's a really good play by Mathieu that starts with his awareness and understanding of routes, formations, and everything that goes with that. So this is a challenge for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense. It's not an easy defense to play against. They've had some problems this season, but tactically, they can be very difficult.
All right, the Eagles facing that Chiefs defense. Now in Dallas, obviously, if you go back, Nick Sirianni probably wanted to run the ball more. 3 carries for the running backs. That's the fewest in any game in Eagles history.
Yes.
So do you think that we will see more of the running game against Kansas City?
I think we all want to see more of the running game, and I'm sure Nick wants to call more run plays. You have to be effective when you run the football, but you also have to be committed to running the football. I think that's how you keep your quarterback safe. I think that's how you grow this young quarterback, running the football a little bit more. And here's a perfect example of what can happen when they choose to run the football. If you watch this, it's just a straight downhill play. You've got the 2 defensive tackles both getting double team blocks, and then Landon slips off and goes to the second level and really creates a big space for Miles Sanders up the gut, and he runs for 20 plus yards on that run play. A lot more of that would go a long, long ways in the growth of this offense and growing your young quarterback.
All right, well, it's 6 degrees of separation again because Ike Reese now, you got a defensive coordinator that you were coached by in Philadelphia, Steve Spagnuolo, coming in, 2nd time in 4 weeks. What are you seeing from this defense from Spags when he was in Philly coaching you?
Well, he certainly still tries to apply a lot of the Jim Johnson principles. That was obviously a great scheme to use back then, but he's evolved it just a little bit. And listen, when you don't have a Brian Dawkins at your disposal, you got to change some things up. But he will use Tyrann Mathieu, the honey badger, in some of those circumstances where he wants to use him as a blitzer, put him back there as a coverage guy as well. They are missing key guys up front. Chris Jones is their best defender, so he can't do as much of the exotic blitzes and the zone blitzes that he would like to do because they aren't as good on the corners either. That's why they're giving up a lot of points and a lot of big plays down the field. So he's kind of caught in between wanting to be aggressive and create turnovers versus not giving up the big plays.
Welcome back, everybody, to Eagles Game Plan presented by Toyota. And you're talking about 2 teams that are on 2-game losing streaks here coming in here.
Yep.
And as I said, Patrick Mahomes has never lost 3 in a row in his career. This is going to be an angry, desperate Chiefs team coming in here, right?
Yeah, you know what I say to that? It's the first time for everything. So if he hasn't lost 3 in a row, you play in this league long enough, you'll lose 3 in a row at some point. But in all seriousness, in order to make that happen, the Eagles are going to have to match that desperation. I mean, the Eagles, we've lost 2 straight games also. No one wants to go 1-3 at this point in the season. So I think it's going to make for an explosive game. I expect big plays to be out there on both sides of the football. I'm really excited to watch this one. I mean, I think the Eagles will match what Kansas City brings in here.
See, I think that if you really protect Jalen Hurts and allow him time to throw the football, the way they play Kansas City, with all the man coverage that they play, receivers, they should be awfully hungry to get at them, especially looking at last week and the way things went last week for them. You have to be able to win those situations, those one-on-one, even if they go max protection, and let those guys on the outside beat these guys one-on-one. I think that's a great attack, a great approach to this football game.
All right, Eagles Chiefs at 1 o'clock. Catch the kickoff show on PhiladelphiaEagles.com at 12:15. We appreciate you watching, everybody. Big Red is back in town. Thanks, Ike Reese, Mike Quick. Thanks for watching Eagles Game Plan, presented by Toyota. Eagles Game Plan is brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers, proud automotive partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy. And by Pepsi, your official soft drink of your Philadelphia Eagles.